Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back once more. So, I was talking about the procedure for ladies if you want to cross from being a maid to maybe to change another profession or work. For example, you have been working in a house as a maid and you want to change a job to another one. Luckily enough, I researched and I found the answer. The procedure is very simple. Only what you need to do, there are jobs that are online, advertised online, either through LinkedIn or uh, Indeed. When you search on Google, you find that website, Indeed or LinkedIn. So you can actually do an interview with an employer when you are inside your room through video call. That is how simple they have simplified it. So when you do an interview on a video call, if you go through, that means you have to let them know that, I'm working as a maid, but I love working with you. And then possibly when they offer you an offer letter, when you tell them that you are a maid, they will of course offer you with an offer letter. That offer letter is a signal to you that, or to show you that you have passed through. And then what you do, talk with your boss. Tell your boss, boss, I am successful in this job interview. I want to change a job. Talk to him or her in a good way. When you talk to them in a good way, simply if they are bosses which are good and you've been conducting yourself with them in a good way, they will possibly understand what you mean. And then they will write for you what we call no objection certificate or letter, NOC. So that letter called NOC is supposed to be given to you by the boss you have been working in his or her house. Okay? Are you picking something? So that means they are freeing you from being a maid or house manager to go and get that job. So you now go with that letter called NOC outside, because most of the maids, they are not allowed to move out. So you can now move out with that letter called NOC to the office they have offered you a job. Okay? Then that office will process for you what we call a visa, change of a visa from a domestic worker to working visa now for the company that has absorbed you. Okay? And then that company will write now to your boss to change you a visa. Okay? To change your visa so that you will be owned by that company. Now you will be no longer a housemaid. And then they process for you that visa. Okay? That is how simple it is. So it is possible in a way that if you talk to your bosses in a nice way, they will understand. And then the other question is that I am likely to sense from them. They will ask you, now you have been working good with us. Are you willing to bring somebody else to replace you? What you need to say is, yes, I'm willing to bring someone. I'm willing to bring someone. By the time you begin preparing for change of job, you must have prepared someone also to take over from where you stopped in that family, so that that person will replace you to help the bosses also to continue working. We have ever seen testimonies of maids which have talked to their bosses and they have accepted, even including sponsoring them. And then the other secret, I'm telling you now, some of these bosses, also they own companies, or they are members in their companies that offer jobs. So if you even talked to some of them and you convince them that, hey, you see, for me, I worked, I have this experience, I worked as this field, do you mind to let me know if they want this kind of people, so that I can stand the opportunity to be one of them? You find you never know, at one point you can they can reply to you positively and say, yes, we even want someone right now as we speak. And they will probably absorb you. So it's all about how you communicate to your boss if you are working as a house manager. That is how possible it is. We have received a lot of testimonies about that. Those people who were maids and now they are receptionists, managers, tea girls, tea boys, just because they talked to their bosses nicely in a good way. So you can also do the same. If you talk to them and they are able to understand what you mean. I believe there are people who understand. Not everyone does not understand. People understand. So please try that procedure. And then the other thing that I have maybe skipped is that also you must have been preparing yourself. Even if you're in the house, they are not allowing you to move out. Please, you can make your own CV using your phone. When you make your own CV using a phone, that means you have now your full document with you. So you can use that full document to send to them online, other than you are requesting every time you want to go off just because you want to move out. They will not accept, because also they have hired you for work. Now if you leave home, who else will be at home? So that is the message I wanted to put across for our sisters who are maids. Okay, I believe I have passed that message to you in a nice way, in a very understandable way, that you can actually jot down what I'm meaning. The steps are very clear. Apply for the job online, do interviews with them on video. They offer you a letter of acceptance or appointment. Ask your boss to give you NOC, a letter of releasing you. Do not escape, that's the problem. If you just escape when you have not been released like that, your visa will not come out. Your visa will read you are still owned by the former boss. Okay? You are still owned by the former boss. So, in case of approval of that visa, you remember here everything is done on computer, fingerprint. So which means when they want to confirm you, they will read automatically that you are under someone's ownership. So it becomes now a case. Okay? So that means they will not allow you to move. Otherwise, they will take you to police, answer this case, you escaped. So when you escaped, you have to pay a charge, okay? So when you pay that charge, it means all the matters become complicated. So to make matters short, do not